Again, my name is Ayalita Lito. I'm a Feng Shui master. Have been practicing for 20 plus years. I've been studying, teaching, traveling, applying on a daily basis. And I'm so glad that I have quite a few clients right now on the call that can prove what the traditional or classical Feng Shui is and does for you. It is a life experience. It is what we are open to. It's not rigid just by books. I hope you would agree. Something that we learned through Chinese metaphysics is adaptation. It's like, how can we adapt in the current environment? Today's subject I would like to talk about, it is about the transition between the year of the young metal rat to the year of the yin metal ox. But before we go to some of the nuances of the year, I would like to go back and talk about a little bit about associative thinking and what do we really include and what is important the current time frame. Okay, and I would like to address just particular months of the December and January. When we talk about the year of a rat, and maybe I should unmute and would love to hear is not everybody would say, well, they can't wait the rat year to end. And I would pause to that. And I would say, well, can we also reflect and take something good, something that has been useful from all the aspects of this particular year? We know that there are in terms of the yin and yang, we can talk about typically in the West, you say, well, it's something is good, yang is good, yin is bad. And I would like to really not even include or talk in the terms of good or bad. In the traditional aspect, when I talk about the energy, it just is. We can find usefulness at any level, at any time. And when we talk about the yin or yang, qi, it's just energy is, and how do we utilize? The rat year is coming to kind of to its completion, and very interesting, this particular month right now, we are in a kind of double rat situation. It's a year of rat, and it's also a month of rat, so like a double rat. And it's could be like emphasizing all its qualities, and not for everybody is in favor of those who did not adopt the flexibility. So we can reveal the looking back at this year, how many of us actually managed at the point of that something was in their own routine to pivot, to shift and adjust. The beauty of the year of a metal rat was that it came with all the possible data, the accessibility, and that's what the quality of energy was providing, is the access to knowledge. If you were not too lazy, and if you were able to be in a team player, you definitely were able to succeed, because the reaching out, creating your community, to reaching out and also becoming an expert, or becoming, or like utilizing technology, that's all was I would say, thank you to the year of metal rat. The capacity was right accessible to in a very wild spectrum. The next month, the next year, is the year of an ox. It's not only just the ox, it's a metal ox year. And I will talk a little bit more about it, about complete Chinese astrology I will be doing in February. But the following month, like the same way we have a rat hour, which is between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., We also have an ox hour, which is 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. Those two characters, rat and ox, are very, very close. I mean, right next to side by side. What it helps us with is there's no really much divination. Oxes are typically like, because they're bigger animals, they have a bigger consistency, they're a little shy. A rat allows them to break the ice and kind of to stand out and be in a spotlight. It's almost shifts the energy of encouragement. When we look back and we think about when we are in a current phase between the December and January, based on a calendar year, yes, we all are looking forward to, probably many of us are looking forward to finish or looking forward to end this year. I would kind of stop back and would ask everyone to kind of look back and say, it's really is not about the ending. It is about how do we continue. Everything is cyclical. Everything is reappearing. The same year, or the same decade, like 60 years ago, we also experienced the transition between the year of a metal rat into the metal ox. Every single year, we do experience the transition between the December and January, which is again is a pivot moment between the rat and ox. What does that mean? The earth, those who study the Chinese medicine or is familiar with the acupuncture and other modalities will recognize there is 5 elements of 5 transformations. We are all familiar with the elements such as metal, water, wood, fire, and earth is always in between. When we transition from one season to the other, there's always a reset coming to earth. And this is exactly what happens, like a big reset takes place, like slowing down reset takes place during the month of the ox. So this coming up, like when we are closing the year, the physical year, when we are in a month of a rat, within a year of a rat, we can still summarize and do a lot of kind of reflection and bringing the qualities for new beginnings of starting the year of the ox through this almost like a slow down plateau. What's happening in the nature when we observe right now, typically in the winter time, we'll be in the middle of the winter. It's hard to kind of experience that maybe in Hawaii or in California in some areas, but we still have a notion of the season. We see what's happening in the stores. We see what's happening in the fields. We see what's happening as a transitional point. And what will be important is how do we come to the, not the stagnant stop, but just like kind of a pivot stop. These 2 weeks or 3 weeks of time, which typically we know how busy were we in the past, how overwhelmed we might have got, going into the parties and trying to find the gifts. And, it was, I would say that of course, it was a lot of excitement and light and energy was added to it. But when we compare this current year and self-reflect, this brings us to the true ox kind of earthy quality of energy that is typically required. It is about reflection. It is about the stability. It is about cutting and sorting and releasing that what we is not, that we don't benefit from, and embracing the tradition. So ox, by its nature, it is about the tradition. the I was reading and I was studying and was reading a lot, going back to my notes from my teacher, Lu Ming. And there's one of the things that he was saying, Chinese science is actual science where we identify the factors. How I go from the point A to B is divination. We'll look at the factors of change. We don't look at the criteria or creator. Constant state of movement is qi. So constant state of movement is qi. So when we can identify what has been from the past, these past 12 or 11 months, from the maybe a shocking moment, worldwide, to where you are standing, we are still all standing. We are still all, I would say, smiling and breathing and getting up and motivating and doing things that we love. I hope so. That's the movement of qi. Nothing really stops. Yin and yang transforms through the sequence of time. The qi of the procession of time is called jia qi, or calendral qi. The Chinese calendar is synthesis of lunar and solar calculations. They adapt the observer, the calendar, to calibrate her appetite and conduct to the rhythm of the 4 seasons, the 12 moons, and the 24 qi nodes. This is what the early classics of Chinese tradition was saying. It is interesting that Chinese classics would say, write about it, how to manage the leadership of the government based on successful agriculture. Synchronicity is the very meaning of success. When I read this quote about synchronicity, this relates directly. What is timely? Just think about, what are our expectations and what is timely during this particular time frame. When we talk about the December and January, it is a celebration. It is coming together, and it is the celebrating the harvest and our labor that we have already done, that we, let's say, we can admire and share. The month of the ox, and also the promise of the upcoming year, it might sound a little more like hard working, but it's definitely bringing more stability. I would not deviate too much to new beginnings, in a sense of like, well, we are wiping the past and we are forgetting what's happened in the past. But what I would encourage all of us is to simplify and have a look at the patterns that really worked for us. Either it's a business, either it's through communication, either self-care, or the practical aspect like what we did in the house or in homes. All that is to synchronizing what our surroundings are requiring and what we can actually deliver. The simplifying version of all this, it comes to, again, to very basic term, what's yin and what's yang, and bring it to the balance. When I say bring it to balance, it's like not going into extremes. This particular, especially when we're pivoting during the month of Ox, which is going to start in January 14th. Right now we're in a month of the rat. It's always remember, too much yang depletes yin. And we right now, through the season, we are celebrating the longest night and shortest day. And it's almost like it's when we do reach the winter solstice, it's like the pendulum, like it's the pivot moment. We already are starting cultivating a yang qi, or new beginnings, the newly born. Through many of my presentations in the past about Chinese astrology, I always bring the image of the old grandma. and thinking about that the year of a rat is this old grandma that sits by the window, and outside is snowing and snowflakes are kind of like drizzling down. We're not really getting rid of the grandma because she's holding the newborn year, and that's the ox year, or new coming year. The year of ox is not really yet. It's so innocent, and it's not capable neither to speak, nor to act, nor to stand up on its own. So this is where I want to bring your attention. How do we transition? How do we bring the closure to your current year? It becomes a very important factor. The actual based on the lunar calendar, the Chinese New Year of the year of a metal ox is only going to start on in February this year. So we still have a good portion of the 5.5 weeks to be with this, I will call old grandma rat, year of a rat, be by her side, and maybe having a tea time, maybe having a conversation, or maybe writing a letter, or maybe actually saying thank you for the traditions and new beginnings that it actually taught us or brought us to it, that we never done it before. I think anyone who is on this call might look back and find that there are things this year that you've never done it before, or there are things this year that you transition or pivot your behavior in the sense that, well, I didn't know that we actually could have let's say a party, or we could have a gathering, virtual gathering, the way we're doing right now. So again goes back to the adaptation. Can we be flexible enough? The other point, when we look at again with the through the associative thinking, when we talk about the yang metal element and coming to the yin metal element, the main difference is something the very large, heavy, industrious is the yang metal. It's maybe does not have a nuances of the detailed work. It's more like impacting the big mass with a big kibosh, like big bang. Where we look at the yin metal element, it takes a refinement. It does take the fire chi. It does need encourage. It does need time, patience, right? To create a beautiful jewelry piece. So one of the, if you're looking forward to the year of an ox, and if you reflect back to the year of a rat, one of the most depleted qualities or elements that you might come across through the majority of in a community is the fire chi, is a fire element that ignites that light, the heart, the joy. Okay, I would like you to be very aware of it and maintain the simple, joyous things whenever you can. Example, browsing through the Facebook and browsing through some sites and Instagram and social media. What I would like to encourage is, if you can smile without a mask, do that. Be on virtual sites, show your smile. Don't hide it. You don't need to post or put yourself in that position. We're practicing that, and we're already following the rules by being on a street. We're not adding that kind of a joyous look, a smile. I miss that. Walking on the street and not, I actually, when I want to smile and say hello, I just pull my mask down. Then I come up with my other crazy, bright and smile. I just pull it down. I want us to have the opportunity to be yourself and to not to lose the human touch. We could become very easily isolated and rigid and follow the rules. I'm not against the rules, but in the areas and in the moments or in your either the business or communication, try to maintain yourself and bring the joy as much as you can. I have to say that Katerina and also Mary Waltidapkas, you are doing fantastic job by maintaining the joyous community and upbeating of the energy that we need on a, and we're gonna have to have extra effort the next year. We will need being extra creative. That's what requires the wood chi. That's what require the fire chi. Those two elements are almost like we as a human need to generate that. So my last sentence is like a little bit of yang and a big yin is the formula to sustain it. How can we correlate to that? That would be example when we conceive a child. I would say it's like, yeah, the conceiving just takes like, takes a time, but little time, little joy. But to hold the baby for 9 months in a womb, it takes the yin chi to be patient on holding and harvesting. So by nature and by wisdom of our surroundings, we can adopt this particular pattern and do not go into much extremes. So anytime we go into extreme, that's mean it could be deep depression or kind of, changing things like it being too not appropriately energetic when it's not needed. We cannot have our expectations right now in the fields to let's say have the harvest of strawberries the way everywhere in the world. California 24, California, yes, but somewhere else by nature, no. Auspice is in our own experience. So the Asian cosmology believed that a man occupied a pivotal position in the universe, exactly between the two great cosmic spheres, between heaven and earth. So the human nature, when we stand on earth and we breathe the air, we are that pivot needle or the compass needle that would give the reading or give the feeling or our intention or our how are we to the surroundings. I used to say in Feng Shui, when I do the consultations, I say, if there's in the house, if there's no human being, there's no Feng Shui. I was like, why? Because the feedback comes from us reacting or how we feel about it. Because building in its own or land in its own, it just gets in a bigger cycle and continues, either we're aware of it or not. I also would like to say, looking at the present moment, so maybe I can open also this half an hour. I've been talking a lot. Maybe some hello from Taipei. Are there any maybe any upfront questions before? I'm not going to be sharing anything related to 12 animals and how the year of ox is the auspice of year of ox for each animal. That's going to be on February 2nd, my first live. That's when just before the Chinese New Year. Just want to let you know. My purpose was this particular Feng Shui Connect was for you to understand how important is the transition between the yin and yang. How important is the transition between the year of a rat, now with the month of the rat, and towards the year of an ox. in a very, very brief. There were quite a few who emailed me and asked about what can we expect or what is our conduct during the year of Ox. And I would say we're not going to see a too much drastic uplift, like ups or downs. No one should be surprised, because the notion of the year of Ox is a continuous of the year of a rat, but in a different form. It will be more stable, probably for some people who are more depleted. Maybe that's whose plans might not have been fulfilled based on their intention, might have might be rebellious to the opportunities. But otherwise, it's going to be fairly simple, consistent year. The stability comes from hard work, but as persistence. So those who, if you got exhausted, or if you were out of your elements in a past year, that this will be this particular month, the end of December and January, is definitely most important month for you to cultivate and regain back your jiaqi. You gain back your energy. Gaining back energy through sleep. Have quality sleep. The hour of the rat is between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. And the continuous hour is 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. That's the ox hour. When we are sleeping during those hours, especially during the month of December and January, we gaining more energy. So to think about quiet, beautiful evenings nearby your fireplace with the Christmas tree, reading or writing your notes, reflecting, going back. I was so thrilled, actually, for the last 2 days, pulling out my old notes from my teachers and just browsing through, and I didn't know where the time went. Going back to all the classes, or going back to the travels, or going back, that is what's cultivating as a metal chi without exhaustion. It was not like packing up and running out the door and being rejecting to what's going on, but going with what's available to us. So be mindful about that, how we behave in a transitional state. When we address things to food, a reminder again is, in one hand, in January, it's going to be more simpler, but longer. Like when you cultivate more heat, like stew, like getting the flavor that is cooked, not for higher chi, like fast cooking, but it's being kept for longer time. That would add also your kind of adjustment, gives you the energy of you're training your patience. So I want you to be patient. The specifically for some characters like myself, being a monkey year, that is not, in many ways, not patient and likes to be entertained or entertain others. The year of ox might be what else can I do, or how else can I approach things? The year for ox, it's going to be, wait, do what you did before, make sure this particular pattern was working, and if you want to do and launch something new or something extraordinary, do it in the year of a tiger, the year of 2022. I think that's also in a project, when we looking realistically, let's say being in the United States right now, that the biggest pivot, how we as a nation, as a body, cohesive body, all human together, will shift from the year of a rat and pandemic. It's gonna shift traditionally by 2022. I would not say that all borders of the traveling will be open. This is going to be more like thinking back and thinking about the long-term investments, thinking about more like a real estate or something that if you're going to be investing, you're going to be investing in something that leaves a legacy. It's basically long-lasting patterns or long-lasting path. So those type of activities are definitely going to be more rewarded if your expectation is not like right away, like flipping a home. Of course, there will be still opportunities, but just the expectation, how we get done it or how we pretend to do it, it might be has a different notion. Ox is stubborn. It's a bull, and it has a tough skin. It has a dirt, and it's a hard working body. It's a hard working opportunity. So whatever you there's some saying, what you what just I was having in Latvian, but what you plant you will harvest, right? But this like was persisting and cultivating. It's not going to happen overnight. So in just very brief, just be patient. Just be patient and generate simple joy. Stay creative. If you continue Zoom, be creative. As always, I add a specific date since lucky days for upcoming coming weeks. And if those who have pen and pencil, and maybe Kay could type it into the chat, the days I would like you to pay attention to. In December, December 15th, December 20th, January 1st, January 2nd, January 13, 14, 21, 26, and 27. And I'm going to see everybody for the Chinese New Year talk on February 2nd. The extra like a star days, I would say, for business, for bigger projects, for setting January 14th and 21st is exceptional days. So almost like you can prepare information and like meditate, prepare, write it out, contemplate, create your mood boards and create your lucky charts or whatever that is. But that's what you should be kind of launching or get those dates, kind of mark it for yourself. Do something good. Do good every day, but something special for you to celebrate. The actual Chinese New Year will start on Friday, February the 12th. And I plan quite a few special Zoom meetings and other visitations and sharing information about Chinese New Year and each of the animals in February. So there's the one more saying that I want to share with you. That's interesting. And what is New Year? It's a celebration of renewal. It's not the celebration of victory. And I would like you to transition in a very, very kind of smoothly into this renewal rather than being like after the battlefield. We don't need these victories that we have conquered the 2021. I'm embracing this experience. I'm embracing my community, and I will be celebrating the renewal and looking forward to 2021 and seeing everybody again next year. And I'm opening if there's any questions. And I'll put in a gallery view, maybe some specific questions. So feel free if there's any feedback, anything to share. Anyone? Any comments? Any experience?
Am I correct, Elisa? That January 1st was included in good dates too.
Yes, January 1st is a very good day.
Good.
Superb day. Yes. Yes. And as a quick reminder, so my Feng Shui Connect on a monthly basis is going to still continue the same pattern. The January 1st, like 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, 4-4, 5-5, 6-6. So as long as you know what month of the day, you know that day is going to be the Feng Shui presentation. On January 1st, it's going to be just recorded greeting. I'm not going to do a live event, but February 2nd definitely is going to be, we're going to be sending the new link for the February 2nd registration, and that's going to be specifically dedicated for the Chinese New Year. And I will be way more information about each animal and each element and examples that I'm working on. Yes. Yes, Elaine. Go ahead.
Are there days that you think, don't do anything on this day, it's a really bad day for anything? I mean, are there days like that? Avoid the 13th. I just wondered.
Yeah, no, there are such days. There are such days, and I will be happy to. I always look. I'll always let's put it that way. I always focus on positive pathology because it's very easy to start focusing on negative and start looking into it. Okay, in any like a day, like it's what it means bad. That means like be more not acting, more be. There's no such, maybe, yeah, there is days that are not good for getting married, or maybe not good for burying the dead, or maybe not closing or signing the contract. And it really depends on your personal, sometimes it's also personal astrology. There's a nuance is that something good is for one. It's like a plants, there's some plants like roses, they love sun. And then, there's some plants like succulents, they actually prefer a little bit more shady side. So, but I will be happy to share that information with you. So feel free to email me if there's any specific decision making. I'll be happy to. And I know everybody is looking forward to the Monday, the 14th. Okay. That is the solar eclipse, and it's also, big events in politics take place. The celebrate, if you want to initiate anything for you personally, use the December 15th, the Tuesday is amazing day. Really, really amazing. I will share that on Instagram. I promise I will post on Instagram all the qualities of the December 15th. And if you're planning any contracts, if you're planning any deposits in the bank, if you're planning to finalize things with people, you need any closure of any sorts, it's extreme. It's really, really, really good day. And if you're using the dragon hour, that's in the morning between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., or even snake hour until 11 a.m., it's a bliss. So be mindful, do something. If it's something important for you, take advantage of the Tuesday, that's upcoming Tuesday. Okay. So we have some more minutes. I would like to also share and kind of a great news. And I don't know if those who know, but quite a few through this year have been helping me to assist the young Buddhist monks in Bhutan. And since I started the Zifeng Academy, my own Feng Shui Academy, I have been sponsoring in a different smaller and larger projects, these, I call the little monks. And follow me on Instagram. I will put together a greeting that they share on a special messages they are sending, these videos and greetings, how they study, what have we done, and how we have impacted their daily life in Bhutan. These are ages from 6 to 16, 21, 18, 18 young men, young kids that live in a very, very, very remote area. With the three of them, with the Buddhist teachers, they managed to put the new floors. They managed to buy supplies for the reading and writing. And I had this latest video from them about it, and it's really made me smile. Several years ago, I mean, on a 2015, the year when my teacher passed, Lu Ming passed, in 2012, he traveled to Bhutan. He traveled and he did another monastery, and another school was helping use the Chinese New Year talks and whatever money were generated for this reason to create the donations and to send back to Bhutan and Nepal. And I'm so happy that I have been able to continue the tradition and assist them the same way. And I would like to say thank you to many, many of you. I also will be dedicating the month of January to that purpose as well. So all existing clients who are going to be signing up for Chinese New Year talk, like 2021, I will be sharing my 50% of they're going to go to Nepal and Bhutan, and just to seeing what it means to them, just to see their smiles and the rewards. It's a wonderful, and I think that's what we meant to do, is to give back. And it's not only give back now, it's give back at all times. And I would love the tradition, the Tibetan, the Buddhism, the Taoism, I would love that to continue. There's so much wisdom. There's so much wisdom. And yeah, I hope you will join me for that. All right. Any last shares? Yes, Katrina. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay, so I have 4 questions.
Oh my goodness.
But they're all going to be relatively short, and they're linked. Okay, so first of all, when are we releasing or sharing the red envelopes that we placed?
We can share the red envelopes during the Chinese New Year. So, okay, the spring, it's a spring during the Spring Festival.
Okay.
So that's going to be a week before the 12th and a week after the 12th of February. So anytime starting from the February 1st and on, that's during and this is where February 2nd, when we have our conversation, I will share about the tradition and where to set the new envelopes.
Okay. Okay, so the creation of the new envelopes don't occur until after Chinese New Year is complete?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so, and that's after the 2-week period of Chinese New Year being complete?
Yeah, so we can do any time between the February 4th. Okay. So we can start placing the new, releasing the new, but truly the Chinese New Year this year, in 2021, is gonna start on the 12th of February.
Okay, all right, and then the next one is, when are we letting go of the salt?
So discarding on a 3rd.
Discard on the 3rd.
And set the new one on a 4th. And that's again, all going to be, as long as you prepare your coins, the jars, everything else, I will share where and how on the February 2nd. That will be perfect, the 2 days before. Yes, not to worry. Yeah, and take pictures if you have any awkward, any kind of, the grown stuff or darker, to take a picture as evidence, and maybe we can relate to some events and protection, how the year been and how it pivoted for you.
Guys, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, thank you. Thanks for joining me. Anyone else? Is there any requests? Maybe I will also open. What are you interested in? What would you like me to share next year? And I'll be happy to address that as well. And it's anything that's traditionally by either Feng Shui or astrology and design. I will continue maintain and will be sharing more case studies. And I would love also some of the existing clients, and maybe after the new consults, we'll invite, how was the experience and what you can reflect. Anyone want to share? Mary, would you like to share anything? why we are here? Remember, I was asking, like, why you are here, wise woman?
Well, I would have loved to have been here before. It's been that kind of year.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, as Ayalita know, and a few other participants, Ayalita and I have known each other a number of years. I run my own coaching business, and I have a women's community through Meetup, and Ayalita will be back for year 6 of our February What the New Year Holds for Us. And I love this work. I love Ayalita, and I'm excited for this transition time. So I was very interested in simply the information around transitioning from the metal rat to the metal ox.
Mm-hmm.
I will be fully human next year, as Ayalita says in this work. I was born in the year of the metal ox, and I'll be 60 next November. So I'm excited that even though we've adapted, I've called it authentically adapting to 2020 and what it's teaching us. My women's community is an in-person, and it has been a vibrant in-person in the Bay Area for 10 years. So the adaptation to virtual,
Mm-hmm.
though challenging, has gone well. And so I'm excited for how we can be in community right now in our current circumstances. And so I was just really glad to be here and hear some of the it really spoke to me. I love stories, Ayalita. So I loved the sitting with the grandma, imagining her at the window, holding the baby, holding the possibility of this new container and this new energy. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Katerina, maybe you, Rando, I admire your power and how many, hundreds of women Katerina is gosh, I feel, yes, teaching, but also encouraging. So would you like to share a few?
What would you like me to share?
It's like how is this year? How's transition? How's been?
I actually am blissing this year. Yeah. It's been a wonderful year, not just for me, but why I'm blissing is that so many of my clients have quickly right away shifted to online, and that community, I would say community has really been the theme for this year of, this is my second time today with Kay and Elaine, and this is my 4th Zoom today with different women in different communities. And that if you, unless you're a massage therapist, meaning hands-on, so many women have done such an incredible job of shifting to virtual. And I am very clear that a lot of people don't realize the power of community until they have it. And this year, with all of us shelter in place, I think that the world is seeing how important community is. And I am so grateful that we all now, the whole planet knows how to use Zoom, because we can do so much of what we do on Zoom. And although I love, Mary, that you said your community is live and in person, I actually have a center in San Francisco where the whole point of the center was to get the ladies live and in person, and that I love being with the ladies, and really, though, at the same time, I had a limiting belief that it was not as wonderful if it wasn't live and in person. And what the benefit of virtual is we get to expand our reach. And, you know, I have new ladies in our community from Missouri and New Jersey and Massachusetts and all these places. Alita, you were with us last week. You met many of them that I wouldn't get to touch their life. And the other thing is that, you know, so many more people can come and be with us because they don't have to be live and in person. So there are many blessings. And for those of you that speak, I've been telling my clients this year, it's a gold rush. And Alita, I think you're experiencing that too. It's a gold rush because we can speak to people all over.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. And well, let's continue to adapt. I wish to women have an incredible powers. See what happens? We have incredible powers. Please stay safe, be generous, be gentle, be loving, dress bright, have fun, even on Zoom. I would say this is so important. Be quirky if you have to. There is a good time to add that little bit of joy, because this coming year we will need a lot of the, yes, I love Kay. we will need wood chi, which comes through children and creativity, and we will need a lot of fire chi that would give that excitement and smile. So be joyous and create joy around us, within our hearts and in our environment. And happy upcoming new year. And I'm looking forward to see you all on February 2nd, 2021.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
lovely. Thank you.
And I will send you the recording, and some, if there's anything I missed, you can feel free to email me and text me, and I'll be happy to add that. Thank you. Let's smile. Let's have a last picture here. I'm going to put the screenshot. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ailita.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Amanda. Thank you. Oh my goodness, you're East Coast, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And Irene,
Thank you, Alita.
you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm gonna see you, Irene. I'm gonna come and see you. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Michelle. Michelle, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Oh, we have 2 Michelles. The other Michelle Smith. Thank
So
you.
Anita, there's no meeting for January then? There's no Feng Shui Connect?
No, so I'm gonna just send the recording, like just a greeting, because it's on a January 1st. And I will send but the actual, I'll be preparing for Chinese New Year talk for my clients specifically, that will address each animal and each with the slideshow with the for the February 2nd, because Chinese New Year starts on February 12th.
Okay.
Yeah. So
sounds good.
yeah, so that's why just it's easiest to really to kind of calm and maintain and just be at ease. Yeah, no pushing, no rushing. Hi, Tina. Can't hear you, Tina.